Have you ever stood at a crossroads in life and wondered, am I choosing the right path? Or have you ever questioned whether this decision will truly bring happiness to yourself and those around you? In life, we often encounter difficult moments when we must make choices, and it is not always easy to arrive at the right decision. Hello everyone, I am Buddha's Teachings. Today we will discuss the Buddha's teachings on how to make the right decisions. Sometimes even the smallest choices can profoundly affect our future. So, how can we make decisions that not only benefit ourselves, but also bring advantages to those around us? Today, we will explore how to make the right decisions based on Buddhist philosophy. With teachings such as wisdom, panya, and compassion, karuna, you will learn to think deeply and reflect thoroughly before making choices, guiding you toward a more peaceful and joyful life. Drawing upon core teachings such as the Noble Eightfold Path, mindfulness, compassion, and the law of cause and effect, I have extracted essential points from Buddhist scriptures and interpreted them in the clearest way for you. These foundations will help us develop a correct understanding and the ability to face the choices in life with calmness, clarity, and benefit for both ourselves and others. 1. Mindfulness. In the spiritual journey of each individual, one of the most essential elements taught by the Buddha is mindfulness, an integral part of the Noble Eightfold Path. Mindfulness is not merely awareness, it is the cultivation of deep understanding and clear consciousness in every thought, word, and action. The Buddha once taught, "Light the lamp of wisdom for yourself." This teaching encourages us not to be blinded by desire or haste, but to illuminate our path with wisdom and vigilance. Before taking action, he advises us to pause, calm our minds, and reflect thoroughly. Before speaking or doing anything, consider carefully whether it will bring suffering to yourself or others. Each action we take is like a seed sown into the ground. If we plant carelessness and haste, we will reap the fruits of suffering. Conversely, when we sow compassion, wisdom, and mindfulness, we will harvest happiness and peace. The Buddha used the imagery of a mirror to help us understand the importance of self-reflection before acting. Just as we stand before a mirror to check our reflection, we must continually examine our hearts and intentions. We should ask ourselves, does this action bring happiness or harm to myself and others? Does it nurture compassion, or does it lead to suffering and regret? Through the practice of mindfulness, we will see that no decision is too trivial. Every word and every action has the potential to create karma. Act with awareness, without letting your mind be led by confusion, the Buddha taught. Haste and thoughtlessness not only harm ourselves, but also spread suffering to those around us. Therefore, applying mindfulness in our daily lives not only helps us avoid mistakes, but also offers a way to live a peaceful, serene, and meaningful life. Mindfulness is not a distant or unattainable state. It begins with listening to our inner voice, paying attention to each breath, and carefully considering our decisions. Through this practice, we gradually come to understand that every action has consequences, and only mindfulness and wisdom can guide us toward liberation from suffering and achieve inner peace. 2. Wisdom, panya. In the teachings of the Buddha, wisdom, panya, is not merely the ability to understand in a conventional sense. It is profound awareness, the capacity to discern between good and evil, benefit and harm. Wisdom is the torch that illuminates the path to enlightenment, allowing us to see the true nature of phenomena and events in life, transcending delusion and guiding our souls to peace and tranquility. The Buddha taught, "No one can save us but ourselves. Only wisdom can free us from all suffering." Therefore, at every step of our lives, we must continuously examine and reflect on our actions, words, and thoughts. Before doing anything, ask yourself, does this action cause harm to myself or to others? This is the profound advice that the Buddha imparted to us. Wisdom is not only the ability to recognize the consequences of actions, but also the capacity to see clearly and choose what will bring true peace and happiness to ourselves and others. Wisdom does not stop at superficial understanding. It embodies a deep comprehension of the law of karma, recognizing that every action, no matter how small, affects the entire flow of life. The Buddha once taught, "All beings are the owners of their karma, the heirs of their karma, born of their karma, created by their karma, bound by their karma, and exist based on their karma." From this, wisdom helps us understand that when we choose the right path, not only do we benefit, but those around us also reap the rewards of these choices. The wise person is one who reflects and chooses rightly, the Buddha taught. A person of wisdom is not easily swayed by fleeting temptations or short-term desires. They always consider thoroughly before taking action. They continuously ask themselves, does this action benefit my spiritual development? Does it bring me closer to enlightenment? Or does it merely increase suffering, ignorance, and delusion? Wisdom also allows us to recognize the impermanent nature of life. All things are impermanent, changeable, and cannot last. And it is this understanding that helps us avoid the suffering caused by clinging to the ephemeral. Making the right choices is when we realize that what brings lasting peace to our souls is compassion and wisdom, not desires, cravings, or personal gain. Ultimately, wisdom is not something external. It arises from introspection. It is the result of practicing mindfulness, cultivating stillness within the heart, and refining oneself through every thought and action. The Buddha taught, enlightenment does not come from pleading, but from understanding the true nature of life. Therefore, whenever we face choices in life, let us heed the whispers of wisdom, allowing it to guide us towards a path of lasting peace and happiness. 3. Compassion, karuna. In Buddhist teachings, compassion, karuna, is not merely love. It encompasses deep empathy and a sense of responsibility towards the suffering of others. The Buddha always reminds us that compassion is not weakness, but an immense strength, enabling us to make wise decisions that benefit not only ourselves but everyone around us. In Buddhism, the right decision is one that not only brings happiness to oneself, but also avoids causing harm to others, for genuine compassion leads us toward a virtuous path. The Buddha taught, the practitioner of compassion has an open heart that does not discriminate and harbors no hatred, whether towards friends or foes. Only when compassion is boundless can our decisions be wise and free from personal selfishness. In life, we often get swept away by personal ambitions and interests. However, Buddhist teachings encourage us to pause and reflect on the consequences of our decisions, not just for ourselves, but for all beings. When faced with a choice, the Buddha teaches us to ask, does this action bring happiness to all? Does it help alleviate suffering and soothe the pain of others? This is the practical application of compassion in daily life. If a particular decision brings only temporary joy to oneself while causing suffering to others, it cannot be deemed a right decision from a Buddhist perspective. Compassion also helps us understand that all beings are interconnected. When we harm others, we ultimately inflict harm upon ourselves in the long run. The Buddha taught, just as a person who cuts grass does not see the suffering of the grass, one who lives without compassion fails to see their own suffering. Therefore, every decision must be considered based on compassion and a clear awareness of cause and effect. For what we sow today will yield sweet or bitter fruits in the future. Compassion is also the source of harmony. When compassion permeates our decisions, it not only benefits others, but also helps us build a peaceful and harmonious society. The Buddha said, happiness does not come from the outside. It is the result of inner harmony and deep compassion towards all beings. When we make choices grounded in compassion, we will never regret them, for every action is performed with a sincere heart and the intention to bring goodness to all beings. In Buddhist teachings, Compassion is also the key to liberation from the cycle of birth and death. When true compassion arises, we are no longer bound by selfishness or hatred. The Buddha advises, abandon hatred with compassion, forsake selfishness through sharing. This is the path to true liberation. When we reflect on compassion in every decision, we realize that peace does not stem from material possessions, but from harmony with all beings. In summary, when faced with any decision in life, let compassion illuminate our path. It is not only the way to happiness for ourselves, but also for those around us. Compassion, as the Buddha taught, is the foundation for all right decisions, helping to create a world filled with love and peace. The Noble Eightfold Path. To make wise decisions in life, Buddhism offers us a solid guide known as the Noble Eightfold Path. This is not just a system of guidance, but also a profound philosophy that helps each of us cultivate ethics and wisdom, leading to a life of peace and enlightenment. The Eightfold Path consists of 8 factors: right view, right intention, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. Each of these factors holds its own significance, yet they are all interconnected, forming a robust support network for our journey towards awakening and enlightenment. Right view, Chan Keen, is the foundational element. It requires us to perceive reality clearly and impartially. The Buddha taught, all suffering arises from ignorance. With right understanding, we can discern between good and evil, between right and wrong, thus shaping wise decisions for ourselves. Next is right intention, Chan Tu Dui, where we cultivate the ability to think wisely and compassionately. The Buddha advised, think of what is beneficial for yourself and others, and eliminate harmful thoughts. Positive thinking leads to beautiful actions, while negative thoughts only bring suffering. Moving on to right speech, Chan Ngu, we learn to communicate with sincerity and truthfulness. Speech is not merely sound, it holds great power to build or destroy. The Buddha emphasized, truthful speech is the means to liberation. Therefore, we should use our words to create peace, foster understanding, and connect people. Next is right action, Chan Nghiep. Our actions should be performed with mindfulness, causing no harm to ourselves or others. The Buddha taught, all actions must be based on compassion and respect for all beings. When we engage in good actions, we create happiness not only for ourselves, but also for those around us. Right livelihood, Chan Mang, is the next element, highlighting the importance of living a truthful and responsible life. Choosing a profession and way of living that causes no harm to others is crucial on this path. The Buddha advised, live with a pure heart and good things will come to you. Right effort, Chan Tin Tan, is essential for personal development. It requires us to continuously strive to overcome difficulties, learn, and improve ourselves. The Buddha once said, effort is the mother of success, and every step we take is part of the journey towards enlightenment. Right mindfulness, Chan Niem, helps us maintain awareness and clarity in each moment. When we live mindfully, we can clearly perceive our thoughts, feelings, and actions, enabling us to make wise decisions. The Buddha taught, living in the present is the key to understanding life. Finally, right concentration, Chan Jin, is where we learn to focus our minds to clearly recognize what is happening in life. Through meditation, we can achieve inner peace, making it easier to make wise decisions. As the Buddha affirmed, an awakened mind is one of the greatest sources of strength. In summary, the Noble Eightfold Path is not an abstract theory, but a practical guide for daily living. When we apply these factors in our lives, we develop wisdom and ethics, allowing us to make wise decisions and bring happiness to ourselves and those around us. Let the Noble Eightfold Path lead us on our journey towards true enlightenment and happiness. The law of karma. In the foundational philosophy of Buddhism, the law of karma plays an incredibly important role as a principle governing all our actions. The Buddha taught that every action, whether large or small, creates karma, and karma will yield corresponding results. This reminds us that every choice in life carries profound consequences, influencing not just the present, but also impacting the future. Before making any decision, we should ask ourselves about the karma we are about to create. Let's look into the mirror of our own reflection, where every action and every word is illuminated by the light of wisdom and compassion. If our decisions lead to harming others, we are sowing the seeds of suffering and unhappiness for ourselves in the future. Conversely, if our actions stem from love and understanding, then beautiful seeds will sprout, bringing blessings not only to ourselves, but also to those around us. Remember, what we do for others is what we do for ourselves. When we act with compassion, offering help and spreading love and empathy, we not only improve the lives of others, but also open a path leading to our own happiness. The wisdom in understanding the law of karma helps us realize that every action is inseparable from its consequences. This is why the Buddha encouraged us to cultivate mindfulness and awareness in every moment. Living in the present, clearly recognizing our actions and thoughts, is the key to reaping the sweet fruits. In every decision, let us carefully consider, will this action bring happiness and peace to myself and others? Will it lead to growth and harmony, or to suffering and disintegration? This self-inquiry not only fosters our wisdom, but also guides us toward choices that align with the moral values of Buddhism. Therefore, let the law of karma be a guiding light on our path. Every action is a seed sown, and our future is shaped by those seeds. By acting with compassion and wisdom, we can create a better world where every decision brings joy and happiness to all. Let kindness spread, not only in our lives, but also in the lives of everyone around us. Stop and observe. There is one more important thing I want to dedicate to you. Always remember that stopping and observing is an essential step before making any decision. This moment of stillness not only helps you listen to your inner self, but also creates an opportunity for you to carefully consider the consequences that your choices may bring. In this moment, let your mind be clear and open, enabling you to make wise and responsible decisions. In the fast-paced flow of modern life, where decisions are often made hastily, the Buddha advises us, before making a decision, take a pause. This pause is not merely a temporary action. It is a deep journey into the soul, a time to listen to the voice within. In that moment of silence, we should observe our minds, the emotions, thoughts, and anxieties that are present. The Buddha pointed out that our minds are like the wind, easily swayed by the storms of transient emotions. When faced with important decisions, we need to examine thoroughly, asking, does this action align with the moral values I cherish? Does it embody compassion and wisdom? In his teachings, the Buddha emphasizes the importance of self-examination of our actions continuously. When you are about to take an action, ask yourself, will this action harm myself? Will it negatively affect those around me? He advises that you should consider whether this action is skillful and healthy, whether it brings happiness and peace to your life. If you find that the action you intend to take could potentially harm yourself and others, leading to suffering, then you should avoid it. That would be a wrong decision. Conversely, if that action brings joy and benefits to both you and those around you, then carry it out with all your heart. The Buddha's teachings are clear. Before you act, be mindful and reflect. Is what I am about to do good or bad? Does it bring benefits? When you are aware of the consequences of your choices, you will be able to make better decisions in life. Practicing stopping and observing not only helps us avoid wrong decisions, but also opens the door to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. Remember, emotions are just waves. They will pass, but our decisions will leave a lasting impact. Therefore, let stillness be the bridge between reason and emotion, guiding us on the path to peace and enlightenment. In those moments, we will find the strength of mindfulness, the ability to be fully present in each moment. This not only enhances our ability to make correct decisions, but also helps us cultivate beautiful qualities such as compassion, wisdom, and patience. Ultimately, through stopping and observing, we will see that each decision not only affects ourselves, but also impacts everyone around us, opening a path full of light and meaning. That is what I wanted to share in this video. I wish you all endless happiness and safety. May you always make the right choices for yourselves. Be courageous with your decisions. Think about them, examine, and practice repeatedly to reach the best decision. I am Buddha's teachings, always accompanying you on the path to enlightenment. I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Please like, subscribe, and share to keep the motivation alive with me. Goodbye.